Hello everyone, I'm Rich Noonan. Welcome to another edition of Hometown Builder Television, a program in which we travel all over America in search of our nation's best builders and remodelers. And we have found one of them today in Wisconsin. Renovators LTD is a division of Renovations Group Incorporated, with showroom design centers in both Elm Grove and Elkhorn to serve all of southeastern Wisconsin. Renovators LTD, next on Hometown Builder Television. If you are even thinking about renovating your home or building a custom home for that matter, get ready. You're about to see some stunning work by some of the best builders in America. Seeing Renovators LTD owners Jeff Allberger, Tony Rink, and Kevin Annenson strolling back from lunch in the Norman Rockwell-like town of Elm Grove, Wisconsin is a common occurrence. These guys are friends, and they've literally changed the home building and renovations landscape in this part of America together. Renovators LTD is a full-service residential and light commercial remodeling company and a division of Renovations Group Incorporated. Renovators LTD has been doing fantastic work for more than 30 years now, and you will see lots of stunning examples of that in this television show. Tony, Kevin, and Jeff are really big-picture progressive builders who love this industry. At the time we profiled Renovators LTD, Kevin was the president of NARI, the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. Kevin is a key player in policy and education for this industry across the country, not just here in Wisconsin. Kevin, Jeff, and Tony joined forces several years ago, and they have well-defined roles. They form a dream team of builders of sorts that Renovators LTD clients simply love. They are all very passionate about what they do.
Our team is phenomenal. Our team, from the moment a customer walks in the door, we know that our customers are going to be handled the way we as the owners want them to be handled, just like we would want to be handled if we went to a remodeling company.
I would suggest that we have some great competitors in our marketplace, and that they all offer something, but none of them seem to offer what we offer. They all tend to lack something that we have. Not to say that they can't do some things as well as we do, but they just don't appear to be the whole package, where here we have that ability, and really, in my estimation, it's the people. And it's not just the owners that I think we put, you use the word dream team. I think we do have kind of the dream team in the owners, but we also have the dream team beyond the owners.
We like our clients or potential clients to understand that we design to a budget. Our goal is not to extract as much money from you as we possibly can. Our goal is to design the best project we can for the money that you wish to invest in your home. And that's an important conversation to have early on, because if we understand a real budget, then we can design the project to meet the budget. As a design, build, remodel firm, our responsibility is to clearly communicate with our client their goals, their objectives, their desires, their needs, and also the investment they're willing to make. If we can understand those things together, we can design correctly to fit the budget and achieve the objectives.
Together they own Renovations Group Incorporated, which consists of 4 very unique divisions. Renovators LTD, owner-assisted remodeling, where they do all or some of your remodeling project, and their new home offerings, Sweetwater Builders, designing and building stunning custom lake and country homes, to Preservation Homes, building sustainable green homes, which are much less expensive to operate and healthier places for your family to live. We went out and interviewed several Renovators LTD clients, and they can tell this story better than anyone. If you're even considering doing any kind of renovation, please listen closely to what Renovators LTD clients have to say about working with the team that literally transformed their homes.
Our experience was excellent all the way through. In fact, at the end, they had run an open house. They had people coming in, and I said there isn't one thing I would change that I felt that they didn't do or we didn't want done.
After about the first 2 weeks, actually a couple of their workers I wouldn't mind adopting. They become part of your family, really. I was recently retired, so I was home every day. And we have a dog or pet, and everyone was so respectful of our property and made friends with Lucy, and it really was, hardly knew they were here except for the noise.
They're honest. We looked at, this was a 5-year process in the making, and we looked at 4 or 5 different contractors, Renovators being one of them. Renovators we went back to a second time, and another builder we went back to a second time. And my husband liked Renovators more so than any of the 4 or 5 different people that we chatted with. Mostly because of their honesty, and then just very upright and forthright about everything that we were going to do. And it was a huge, or is, a huge undertaking.
It was about 3 months, but so worth it. So worth it. Oh my gosh. And we actually even did it during summer, so the kids were here all the time.
Very organized, on top of things. And with remodeling, not everything's going to go right. Things will go wrong in remodeling, and Kevin was always on top of it. Every time something went wrong, he was there to help out, to make sure things were right. There's even one time I remember where there was an issue with the plumbing, and we didn't have the right part. Well, while the plumber was here doing other items, Kevin went out and got the correct part for that. And I was just amazed by that he's willing to go out, take the time and make sure it's done right, and done while the plumber's here to get it done that day and not delay it any longer.
When we went out and interviewed Renovators LTD clients, we asked to see very representative samples of typical jobs. Kitchen and bath remodels are really common, for example. Look at this awesome example. The kitchen the team built for a wonderful couple in Elm Grove. They had an older ranch home, dated kitchen. It was built decades ago. Look at these photos of the old kitchen, the old cabinets and laminate countertops, functional but not very, and nothing like this. What an amazing, stunning transformation. This would have been a big job for many contractors, but not for Renovators LTD.
I never ever, after the first week or so, felt concerned about them coming into the house if I wasn't here. And the way they cleaned up afterwards, there was minimal dust and they even wiped up the floor one day before it was even, before the wood floors, the new floors came in. So they were extremely, very, very good about cleaning up and the noise level and respectful of our property.
One of the things I tease Jeff, I plan events for a living, so I'm sure I'm a little high maintenance client, wanting to know what the timeline is and where we're at, and very communicative about that whole process. Okay, this trade is coming this day, and 2 days later this is what's going to happen, and that was great. But the part that I think is amazing that I didn't expect at all, they protected every piece of flooring. They protected, our house kind of had to be cut in half. So they did all that. There was a very clear signage about what the expectation was for worksite cleanup. I mean, I would come home from work and I would see that things are different, but there wouldn't be the pile of junk here, and everything was really spick and span, and that made it a lot easier to live in. A major renovation is pretty stressful on a relationship, and we're still married after that, and I think that speaks to a lot of the care and concern they take.
Most of our experience was with Liz, the designer, and with Dustin, who was here almost on a daily basis. Very talented, and Dustin was the one that, a couple changes that just weren't looking right the way we had to, envision them. And he was immediate to take our thoughts and concerns into, and he fixed everything. So I could not be happier. I love everything about it, and that's primarily because of Jim, my husband, and Liz. Liz walked us through, and she very quickly keyed into what our tastes were and what we were looking to do here. And then she brought it all together with the paint color, with the backsplash, the tile, everything she coordinated so that we had, when the end product really went together well.
One of the things that makes Renovators LTD so good is that they use only the best subcontractors in this region. People who really share their level of concern for top quality work and customer service.
They know what they're doing, they're high quality individuals, and they're going to be in that customer's home representing our company.
Two of those companies are Dick & Schroff Plumbing Solutions and ABC Audio Video, which is owned by Chris Klug.
Chris really knows his game. He knows everything about the audiovisual world, and we rely on his expertise, his knowledge, his honesty with homeowners to let them know what they need, what they want based on what they say they think they want, and he's representing us, so he's really part of our team.
ABC Audio Video, home entertainment simply done right. Call Chris Klug and the ABC Audio Video team now to literally change your life at home or the office. Whether you need that flat screen, an awesome home theater, or you need to be able to do a presentation at work with the touch of a button, you need your complicated technology to work simply every time. ABC Audio Video, home entertainment simply done right.
ABC Audio Video.
Dick & Schroff is another one of our team members. Again, they're in the customer's home, and they sometimes have a pretty messy project doing the plumbing side of things. We have to rely on their expertise, we have to rely on their customer service, we have to rely on the fact that they're representing our company. And they're an extension of our company, and it's important that we know how they're going to act in the customer's home. We've used them for quite a few years, and I've been with them in many, many instances where we're with the customer. I listen to how they speak, I listen to how they treat the customer. It's not just the customer, I mean, it's the customer's dogs and cats and pets and kids. And most of the time the customers, their children enjoy the process as much as anybody because these guys are so kind to the family.
From my personal experience with them, they have been nothing but professional.
Super hardworking, honest, responsive.
They're easy to talk to, collaborate with. They're the best plumbers I've ever worked with.
You hear that a lot about Dick & Schroff. The company was started back during the recession in 2009 because Ryan and Aaron thought there was a better way to handle the plumbing business. For example, they are progressive in every way when it comes to how they do business, what kind of equipment they use, and they communicate with their customers, which is becoming a lost art in business. That means when this truck rolls up to a home or a big industrial or commercial job, the customers are very aware of what Dick & Schroff is doing, how much it will cost, how long it will take, whether it is installing a custom PEX system like this one, or a cutting-edge tankless water heater that will save a homeowner thousands, or a stunning new set of bathroom fixtures. Dick & Schroff is on top of it, cutting edge, you bet. But couple that with an old-world commitment to quality. Don't forget, Renovators LTD is just one division of Renovations Group, which includes several companies that have an astounding body of work.
Renovations Group is a melding of 4 great independent companies, now brought together through merger and acquisition under the umbrella of Renovations Group Incorporated. So individually they're Renovators LTD, which is about a 30-year-old design, build, remodel, and light commercial remodeling contractor. Owner-assisted remodeling, which is a unique homeowner participation program where our clients perform some of the work or provide some of the product during the remodeling project. Preservation Homes is our green building company. We do things like homes that generate more energy than they consume. Our clients never pay a utility bill again living in that home, as an example. We implement things like geothermal and high efficiency wall construction details, things that are very responsible environmentally. Sweetwater Builders is a high-end lake and country home builder. So those are the 4 companies. What's unique is that together and collaboratively, the interior operations of our organization work hand in hand regardless of how we're serving those clients. Our designers are capable both on the remodeling side of our business and also very valuable on the new home side of the business. So our clients typically feel very well supported, very well cared for. And again, the mission statement of the company I think is really important, and that is that we will provide, through the eyes of our clients, a great design, build, remodel experience.
Having that stable and scope of work is a great thing for clients because Tony, Jeff, and Kevin have a team put together that can do anything you can think of, unlike other companies that might just focus on renovations. If these guys can build $1 million mansion, they can certainly build you a great kitchen or addition, and clients know that. The word of mouth about this company, and family of companies for that matter, is simply awesome. This couple needed a lot of work done. They wanted a big renovation to their home. They are thrilled that they called the Renovations Group.
This house is over 100 years old, and it's in a really beautifully quiet residential area, and my husband and I have been living in it for almost 20 years, but we really realized that we wanted to age in place. We both have elderly parents, that we wanted them to be comfortable here, and there just wasn't anything on the first floor. There was no full bathroom, there was no bedroom of any comfortable sort in any way, and we both love old farmhouses. So building wasn't a big interest, and there really wasn't anything in town that met those expectations either in the real estate market. I wasn't looking for a high maintenance builder or renovator. What I was really looking for is someone who was up to date, was current, and on the leading edge of the technology that's out there. But more so, I was also really looking for someone who was hearing where we were coming from, what we wanted, but we didn't have the solution. We needed that expertise and that edgy kind of, oh, well, we know we can use this kind of insulation instead of this kind, and that's going to meet your need a lot better, or we can build it this way in a more economical, green way. So it ended up being something that by talking to both of them very quickly, I think early on, Jay and I both, there was a really nice connection. And that, I think, was them really knowing their trade and staying current, but it was also really listening. I have very many examples of, we would say, this is what we're looking for, but we don't really know what that is. And then either Kevin or Jeff would be like, well, this is what you mean, I think. Does this look like what you mean? And that was really helpful for me because I don't speak builder. It's not a language that I'm fluent in.
Another thing that Craig's and every other client of Renovations Group with whom we spoke love about this company is that they are really on the cutting edge of making things go smoothly. The customer experience is incredible. They have 2 locations, one in Elkhorn, another in Elm Grove. At both, clients can come in and pick out materials without having to run all over town for different vendors.
We have 4 full-time designers on staff. We have certified kitchen and bath designers. We have a degreed architect on staff. We have a degreed engineer on staff. We take what we do and how we do it extremely seriously.
We're real involved in the National Association of the Remodeling Industry, which is NARI, and they provide a tremendous amount of constant education and newsletters and material updates because we've got national vendors who are constantly feeding that organization as well. We go to seminars, we get all the trade journals. We're as involved in this industry as any one company can be.
We are collectively constantly working on our business. Jeff and I spend a great deal of time. I work 1 day a week in our Elkhorn location, and Jeff and I meet every time I'm out there. So at least once a week we're in person meeting. We talk on the phone nearly every day. Kevin and I work in the same office, and we are in constant contact with each other. We can bounce things off of each other. I think these are the bonuses that we didn't have before, is when you feel a little bit alone and all of a sudden you feel like you're surrounded with this great team of people.
They also use the latest, greatest computer rendering technology. The Renovators LTD design team lays out a project with incredible detail long before ground is ever broken. The Craig's case, for example, they wanted some really cool architectural details in their first floor master suite addition. The Renovators LTD laid it out perfectly on the computer, showed them how the furniture would be placed, how their cool little windows would look, even how the sun would shine in those windows. And when the project was completed, it was exactly how it looked on that computer before the job was ever started.
Jeff had brought up their 3D rendering program, and we laid out the building in that software program. And that turned out to be by far the best decision we made in the whole project, because we made major revisions in the 3D rendering software that we wouldn't have known about until after the building was finished. So we were able to make really smart choices, and the final product came out exactly what we're looking for.
When I look at where we started with those computer generated and where we ended, it's remarkable. And because blending the addition into our old farmhouse, weird elevation lot, all those challenges that we have, I don't think it would look as seamless as it does without the computer generated exteriors, especially, because that was really important to both Jay and I.
Jim and Sharon Pitson of Brookfield are busy people with school-aged children. Jim's an architect who works with lots of builders in this area. But when it came time to gut the kitchen and build this stunning new one, they called in the Renovators, and they're glad they did.
Well, I created the plans. I had the design in my head, and Sharon and I worked it out as to what we wanted and our needs. So I created the layout of the kitchen. And yes, builders, architects are a nightmare for the builders, and they don't want them standing over their shoulder during remodeling. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was over their shoulder every single day.
How did they respond to that?
They responded great. They were perfectly fine. They understood that. I would actually stand and watch the builders work because I wanted to learn as they're doing it. I don't get to be out in the field that often. So I was intrigued by watching what they were doing because I can design things, but I don't get to see it being built all the time.
And I wanted a place where I could stand and make food while I was visiting with my company. That's what I like to do. I like to have everyone talking with me, but I like to be busy chopping, cooking, and that's exactly what this is.
It's the kitchen that I dreamed of. It's the kitchen that Sharon always thought of. It just came together so great. And so the kitchen you see behind me has a lot of little details that they help me pull together, whether it's the tile, the brackets on the cabinetry, the little furniture legs. All those little details were brought together by the cabinet shop, the designer, the trades that they use, the showrooms, really pulled everything together just beautifully.
Aside from the workmanship, the Pitsons really loved the way the team interacted with their family. So respectful of the children and always making sure they cleaned up at the end of the day. It was just a great experience.
What if the guys make us feel uncomfortable? Especially if the kids want to be using the pool in the backyard, and is that going to be weird? I never ever felt uncomfortable with any of the people that they had, which was hugely important to me.
That is music to the ears of Tony Rink, who handles lots of the business side of this construction company. He deals with the subcontractors all the time, and he really makes sure that he only chooses the best.
Good enough isn't good enough. That we have a higher standard than what the industry has. So and that's very important to us because we hold our subcontractors and trade contractors accountable to our standards, not to the industry standards. And there's a measurable difference there. You got to remember, the industry standards or the codes are the bare minimum, and that's not the book we read from or practice from.
Two companies that Tony's been using for a long time are Big Dog Plumbing and Burkhart Heating and Air. The owners know how to do a job only one way, the right way.
Burkhart is one of these guys that you can count on for straight up, straight direction. You know, he's your typical straight shooter. He's not selling you something you don't need. He's not upcharging you for something that isn't there. He's the type of guy that when you hire him to go out and do a project, he's going to give you the price up front. It's going to be complete. He's going to see what he needs. It's not a matter of figuring out as he goes. And when he's done with the project, it's clean. The customers are happy. We're happy because the customers are happy.
When the men are at their jobs or when I'm at my job, your attitude is this is for yourself or your family. So each man at their job has a pride of doing the best they can on every job they're at.
Burkhart Heating and Cooling, whether you need the best duct cleaning or best new furnace or air conditioner in the business in all price ranges, you're making a wise decision to call the best. Burkhart, with locations on the north side and south side, call Burkhart, where your family's comfort comes first. When Gary Godey pulls out of his garage in the morning with his big dog, a very sweet dog named Jody, somebody's about to get a top quality plumbing job. Big Dog is a great name, and Gary Godey and his team are really great at what they do, whether it be installing cutting-edge new tankless water heaters or fantastic showers with more heads than a litter of pups. Gary says the key to success is pretty simple.
Customer service. Communication is very important. We'll call them when we say we're on our way. That way they don't have to stay around the house. They don't have to wait for us. We give them an approximate time of arrival.
Call Big Dog Plumbing. Decades of top quality work by craftsmen who really care, and a lovable big dog who loves taking a ride with Dad once in a while. Mary Anderson and her husband have a beautiful home in Milwaukee in a wonderful neighborhood, but they wanted to expand, so they called Renovators LTD. The day we shot this story, their huge addition was not quite finished, but you could just see the potential. It was going to be awesome. Here's an after picture. Once it was all finished, it looks stunning. Mary was thrilled with the job that the Renovators LTD crew did, and she liked working with these guys.
Everyone's been really good. I mean, my husband and I have said more than once that every contractor that's been in here has been fabulous. In fact, my husband said the other day that when everything's done, he would consider like bringing all of the contractors together and, you know, as a thank you, just to have them all over and to just say thanks.
Mary really wanted the natural stone to match the existing stone on the home that had been there for years. It's amazing. You can't tell where the old part of this house joins the new.
The mason did a great job of making sure that when his crew was here, that they did indeed do their very best at matching up the stone. And he does something with the grout to make it look like it's older, to match it up with the grout that's been on the wall out here since